Hey friends, it's the Run back again. I'm back. Oh, I'm back. Got a good topic. Something near and dear to me. Something very important. And it is serious. You clicked on this because, the title tells you what it's going to be about. But I don't know if you really know what it's about. I really don't know what your level of comfort is or your knowledge base is. So, I made this video for you guys. Oh, gee, back around video 25. This is video 60 something. So back around then, I made a video for you guys. But I had the hardest time uploading it. And I still haven't. I tried again like 2 days ago. For some reason, it's just not uploading. And it's great. So I can't really replicate that. But I think the importance of and the value of the video is worth me at least giving it another shot. Winter preparedness can be a life-saving thing. Now, I live here in the Northeast, and to be precise, I'm about 15 minutes east of the city of Buffalo. And boy, do we get snow. We have the Great Lakes. We have Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. And the way they're positioned, there can be this circular effect of snow. If the lakes are not frozen, and they're not, again, it just picks up more moisture and then circles up to Canada and then circles back and just keeps dumping snow, lake effect snow, over and over. Or you get this powerful band that's just very narrow band that happened a couple years ago. Thankfully, my family wasn't living here at the time. I mean, I'm from here, but we were living away for 5 years. Was it 4 years or 5 years? I don't remember. During one of the years we were gone, the town that I'm from, the town that I'm living in currently, got close to 8 feet of snow in a very short time period. People were very lucky that they did not lose power. Now imagine going, and this video is pretty much based on this one idea right here. It's a wintertime situation, and you are stuck in the house. You can't leave, you can't get anywhere, and no one's coming to you either. Can you do a solid week, with no power, no electricity, no heat, no running water, no flushing toilets, in the dark and in the cold? Are you prepared for that? Now, generally, my wife and I start going through the house when the kids go back to school. So it's early September, they go back to school. We start going through our cupboards and seeing what non-perishables that we have, checking out our batteries, checking out our lanterns, battery lanterns, as well as, oil lamps, checking out, what sources of heat we'll use if there is no heat. All sorts of things that we go through to say, my buddy Dan, who lives somewhere, it's New York, it's what, Melrose or past Melrose or somewhere past that area. His family has this motto of no power, no problem. And I thought that's such a beautiful, beautiful motto. No power, no problem. Can you operate efficiently, effectively, in a situation where you can't leave your house? You can't even get to your garage, A lot of people could not even get to their garage to get to their grill. So if there's no power, there's no electricity, there's no light, maybe you have no heat. No heat, maybe you have no running water. Maybe you can't flush your toilets. All these things, are you prepared for a solid week of that? I wrote a blog on this, as well as a follow-up post. Are you prepared for the same type of situation if you are stuck in your car? Some people are stuck in their car for 12 hours, 16 hours. Are you prepared to stay there? Or are you also prepared to say, well, I'm going to huff it. I'm getting out of the car and I'm going to head towards that way because I know that there's a store, a gas station, or something I can actually get to. You know, things like signaling, having the right things in your car. Now, I don't know where you live, and I don't know if this is going to be applicable to your situation. You could live in the desert, and your situation might be very different. Maybe you're dealing with the fact that you have no water there, and you guys deal with collecting rainwater. Smart thing to do. So every year, when the kids go back to school, we start going through the house and we make a little list of things that we're gonna, stock up on. You know, more non-perishables. The beans and rice kind of thing. But it's more than that. We have children. We want them to remain comfortable, and you can't show them any signs of panic or unease because then they pick up on that. So, are there books to read? Are there coloring books? Is there games and activities? All sorts of things to say, we're not going anywhere for a while. Let's at least have fun. There's no... People go out and they start shoveling. Now, if you want... what was it? It was I believe the storm here in Buffalo. If you want some shits and giggles, Google Buffalo, New York, November 11th storm. I don't remember the year it was. It was not long ago. But it was a November 11th storm, I think. And look up towns like, Buffalo, but then look up towns like Cheektowaga, Lancaster, Depew. What other towns got hit? Maybe Alden. Yeah, look up that. I'm trying to think who had the record snowfall. I think Lancaster might have had the record high. Like 78 inches or more. People go out and start shoveling. Try to get out of their house. There's no reason for that. You're gonna dig to your car that's in your driveway that you can't get to, and then you're not gonna undig your car, and then you're not gonna undig your driveway. It's just not gonna happen. Now, you might be able to make a path to the road. That could be wise if you can do it, or if you can get to your garage. Some people, like my mother, couldn't even get to her garage. But there's also this mindset of being prepared. It's not a state of panic. We live in a region here where these things are known to happen. So why not be prepared for them? But this mindset of because these things are known to happen and it's a repeating cycle, you have to be one of these people that looks out for your neighbors. You might have the elderly woman next door and she doesn't have anybody. Make sure that you have enough to take care of her. Maybe you can shovel your way to her house and get her to your house, or at least bring her food. Make sure she's warm and comfortable. We're talking where power lines can go down, and, if there's no power, how are you charging your cell phone? How are you getting your medication if you're on dialysis or if you're on a breathing machine? This is serious stuff. Not to mention, there are people in our city that are homeless. Yes, there are homeless shelters, but they're often ill equipped. People have died in their cars from freezing to death because they don't know how to properly maintain and regulate core body temperature. They think, well, I can just bundle up. Well, guess what? If you bundle up too much and you sweat, you're also going to die. Hypothermia is the number one killer when it comes to cold weather. Dehydration would probably be second. You have to understand the cold and how it works. Conduction and convection and all that stuff. You got to understand that. So this year, we went through the same thing. Kids went back to school. We made our list. And we noticed that, this place that we're living in now, this year, if there is a power outage, we're kind of screwed because our stove and our oven, they're electric. Most people around here are generally on natural gas, but ours is electric. So I have camp stoves. I have a small alcohol stove. I have two of those. I have another backpacking stove, but I'm like, we have a family. We have a big family. Kids eat. And we're not talking just like boiling up some ramen noodles. You want a week of eating, then you need big stoves, big ovens, big grills. But we're on the third floor of a building. I can access the roof. But we also have a room. It's very well ventilated. It's kind of connected to where you can access the roof up here. And I would just set out a table, and I got, two big Coleman stoves that hook up to propane. And I would open the door, and I would open all the windows, and cook right in there. So between those stoves and the other two big Coleman stoves I got that hook up to propane, we have the adapter that hooks up to the big propane like you would your outside grill. We're fine. We stocked up on food. Water was our first go-to. We went and got, it's like 5 or 6 of those 5-gallon jugs of water. You figure a person generally needs 1 gallon of water a day. An adult. 1 gallon of water to drink a day. You can go what? They say 3 minutes without oxygen, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. So water is your number one, but you're also going to need water to wash your dishes, for hygiene. So you need a little bit more than 1 gallon of water per day per person if you have no running water. You can't just go down to your creek because, well, if you don't know that, then you probably deserve to pass away. Pulling water out of your creek and boiling that, even using a filtration system, generally not wise because heavy metals cannot be filtered out through any of the known small backpacking, Life Straw or Sawyer Mini or something like that. They're not going to pull out heavy metals. And most creeks have chemicals as well as heavy metals. So even if you boil and then use iodine and then use a Life Straw, you're still not getting them out. So we got our food, we got our water, got a way to cook the food. We have all of our lanterns, we have all of our flashlights, we have batteries and extra lamp oil. Means for heat in case the power goes out. and plenty of stuff to do. Now, ask yourself, where you live, are you prepared for? And these here in this region, this is our biggest emergency. We don't have giant tornadoes, landslides, wildfires, earthquakes, hurricanes. We don't have any of the big stuff. We get winter. We get a lot of snow. It happens sometimes very fast where people are stuck on the road. But ask yourself, are you prepared for, well, this video is winter preparedness. Are you prepared for winter in your area? Do you have enough food for your family? Can you cook that food with no power for a week? And I say a week because, you might have no power for 3 days, but you want to be comfortable. And I say a week because when you plan for a week, you generally over plan. You're usually planned for like a good month. At least we are. And I'm not just talking eating beans and rice either, which you can do a lot with beans and rice. Do you have a secondary means of heating your home? Excuse me. Some homes have wood-burning fireplaces, a rocket stove, a pellet stove. If you don't use your chimney often, and you're just going to rely on well, we haven't used it in 5 years, but there's a storm, let's use it. You could have a chimney fire. Your flue could be broken, and then you have smoke filling up, or you have gas leaking into or fumes, leaking into the house, and you could die from asphyxiation. So if you plan on using your chimney, make sure it's maintenance, make sure it's going to work when you need it to work. I've heard of people chopping up furniture and burning it just to stay warm. Don't you hate when your pipe goes out? It's almost towards the end. You got to keep relighting it. It was really good, but now it's almost gone. So how prepared are you for winter? Is it just you? Do you have a spouse? Do you have a partner? Do you have children? To me, as a parent, it's my responsibility to make sure that my wife is comfortable, that my children are safe, secure, and comfortable. To make sure that my wife's car is outfitted for if she's stuck at work or if she's stuck on the road on the way home. Does she have some sort of kit with her? What would go in that kit? See the blog on that. See what stuff you have already in your house. And I'm not talking just, the everyday stuff. If you think there's any chance that you're going to be stuck in the house for a week, you can get kind of batty. Some people do. I'm quite comfortable not leaving the house for 2 weeks. It's fine. But make sure you have, maybe you got some alcohol stored away. And, maybe it's nice to unwind at the end of a day. Kids are snug as a bug in a rug, all tucked in. And they're all safe and secure. And maybe you and your spouse or your partner decide to have a nightcap. Maybe you want a bottle of this or that lying around. Take the edge off, unwind, stay warm and have a drink and look outside and say, well, at least we're prepared for this. By not being prepared, by not being proactive, if you live in an area that gets certain types of storms, not having a plan, that's ridiculous. There is a channel here on YouTube. I don't remember. I think the name of the channel was Equipped to Endure. I think that was the name of it. The guy's name was Adam Francis. It was a great channel. I don't know how active he is anymore. But his motto on his channel was, if you're not always prepared, you're never prepared. And I really like that statement. I'm not talking about this mode of panic. There's no panic. It's just simply going, every time you go shopping, you get a little bit more, and you put it in a different cupboard, or you put it in storage. If you're not always prepared, you're never prepared. That's really good. Another good motto by one of the survival instructors, Cody Lundeen, is the more you know, the less you need. And I also like that a lot because it's about your knowledge base. It's about the how-to and knowing and gathering the knowledge and putting it into practical use. And the more you know, the less you need, the less you have to rely on stuff. If you already know what you need, then all the other stuff is extras, it's fluff, it's, gimmick. The trappings of commercialism. Yeah, she's almost done here. But seriously, go through your house. See what you have, see what you need. Check out the blog post because it will offer you a breakdown of those things you could be looking to obtain for your house if you live in a region where it gets cold and stormy. I know here in the Northeast we do get some storms. Maine, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Hampshire, and Vermont. These places are used to getting snow and dealing with snow. But you'd still be surprised how many people live in a region like this that are not prepared. And why not be prepared? We don't celebrate the fall equinox, but that's generally when my wife and I are shopping and going through our lists. Samhain for us is also a big one because not only are we celebrating this through our culture and through our faith, but just like our ancestors were doing, they were preparing for winter. We do the same thing. We prepare for winter. I don't know if there's much else to say about that. Check out the blog post. There's going to be one about, being prepared for winter. And then there's the follow-up blog post, which is about, being prepared for winter, but being in your car. Like a car kit checklist type thing. Another good thing to have in the house, hot chocolate. I'm probably missing a whole bunch of stuff here, and it feels like I am based on that first video that I made for you guys. But I think the point is pretty clear. Have a plan. Don't panic. Do the best you can to prepare for a rough winter. See if you can go, even for shits and giggles, can you go a week with no power? No power, no heat. No power, no electricity, no heat, no light, no running water. Do you have enough water? And then, considering you are drinking and you are eating, everybody's got to go to the bathroom. How are you dealing with that? A lot of stores, camp stores and RV stores, and even online you can obtain, the bucket system. And there's a lot to be said on that. Do you have enough toilet paper? We are a nation of never being prepared, and we're a nation of being on the last roll. Honey, can you get me another roll of toilet paper? We're out. No, that was the last one. I gotta run to the store. You're not going to the store. You can't get outside. What are you going to do then? We're not a nation that conserves. We only start conserving a resource when we realize that we're running out. And that's not proactive. That's the hare and the turtle right there. His ego rules the day. He's going to win the race. Of course I'm going to win the race. I'm fast. You can't have that mindset in going into a situation that you know could be dangerous. And you don't want to have to be roughing it. You don't want to buy the hype that when the weatherman comes on to say, oh, we're getting a storm, we're predicting a storm. Everybody's going to run to the store to buy the same shit that they don't need. I don't know why, but everybody runs to the store to buy milk, bread, and eggs. Milk, bread, and eggs. Is everybody having pancakes or French toast and then beer, and then batteries, and then toilet paper or water? Everyone's going to go to the store to buy all the shit that they think that they need, or all the stuff that you think that you need too. And it's either going to be out, or it's going to be mass panic and chaos, and they might run out. Some houses run on, have generators. Maybe you don't have enough gas for your generator. Be prepared and have a plan. And if you do it week by week and little by little, if they call for a storm, you're not running to the store. You already have what you have, and you already have what you need. And it's better to have what you need and a little bit extra, because that neighbor might need your help. So on that, I'm going to grab another pipe, do some reading, and I hope you guys have a good night. Please take this video serious, because it's that knowledge base. There's nothing wrong with obtaining more knowledge and knowing the region that you live in and being prepared for a situation. You don't want to rough it. I think Dave Canterbury is the one that says you should be smooth in it. Why rough it? You should be smooth in it. You should be going through the situation with ease. You should be like, this is just an inconvenient camping trip. This is just, something that happened, and we're fine. We're totally fine. That's the way to be. And it's very easy to do if there's planning ahead of time. So I plan on having another pipe and getting a good book. Not sure what I'm going to read tonight. But it's time for more hot chocolate, guys. Be well. We'll talk to you soon. Iowa. Good night.